Hi everyone, well it's that time of year again, December, and I can get my favourite Christmas shirt out and get behind a camera and wish you all a Merry Christmas and thank you for all of your efforts and your custom through the year. 2024, it's really been a year of two halves. The first half right through May and into early June, certainly in May, we were hitting record week sales ever. So we're really doing well in the marketplace. Certainly the second half though, we have seen a slowdown in volumes from most of our customers. Just about all of our customers have seen a drop in volumes. Through the year though, we've dealt with lots of challenges. I think we're getting our staffing levels right post-COVID. It's certainly, other than Sydney, the markets have got a lot easier to attract the right levels of staff and take pressure off staff where you've been under pressure. So that's been great to see. We still have work to do in Sydney. Our service levels, I think we've worked hard as well through our operational excellence programs and just in general, our Simon Way and our getting back to following processes better. And we've seen improvements through the year there to keep our customers happy and keep them coming back for our services year after year. We've invested in equipment through the year again, and I think before Christmas we've still got a few more vehicles to be delivered. I think there's 3 new Mercedes Prime Movers and there's our first 2 electric rigid trucks being delivered before Christmas that will go into action in Brisbane in 2025. So continue to invest in our people and in our fleet. The SLA, the Leadership Academy, has also seen its first graduates after 18 or 20 months of formal training, informal training and tutoring and mentoring from other management team, from the senior management team. And a couple of weeks ago in Melbourne, we launched our second Academy group. So we're looking forward to working with them and seeing their progress, just as we saw the great progress with the first round of senior leadership group. We also recognised a few of our young aspiring people, upcoming people. All actually are either in last year's or this year's Senior Leadership Academy group. Brad Pilvin for the Simon Way Leadership Role Model, and Carleen Quigley-Smith and Kane Silver for the Simon Way Debutante Award. So congratulations to those guys. 2025, I think we're expecting probably more of the same. We've certainly seen some slower months over the last October and even November. We're not seeing the build-up we'd expect for Christmas. So we'd expect a slower start to the new year. That said, we know, as I probably highlighted last year, there is a massive shortage of housing, of apartments. There's a backlog of other work, commercial and other work that needs to be built. And we do expect at some time during the year that bottleneck will loosen up and we'll start to see those volumes grow in that area. We have seen through the year, again, that tale of two halves, but our projects division certainly finished the first half of the year with the completion of a very large 12-month project that went very well, and congratulations to that team. Our Defence Logistics unit also had a good year with lots of movements, particularly mid-year around some of the exercises. Through the year, I guess hopefully many of you have listened to our podcast. The number of people listening to our podcast has grown with each release, and it's a very high percentage of our staff members now. So I hope you're getting some benefit from that, both in feedback on how things are going within the company and the industry, but also just some entertainment, some insight into some of our staff in interviews and that sort of thing. Billy Manton in particular stood out this year. It was a great interview. Recognised his achievement in winning the Outstanding Contribution Award from the Australian Trucking Association. So a great achievement for Billy there. And the other thing that's in one of our podcasts is Billy reciting a poem, which he's always great with his poetry around Christmas. This one's more about the industry and us and people in our business. So it's a great listen if you haven't heard it. I'd also just like to recognise some of our staff who've retired this year, long-term staff with 10 or more, 12 or more years with us. Firstly, Ursula Pearce, who many of you would recognise both from dealing with her at work, but also from her presence on the Big Australia episode that screened on Channel 7 5 or 6 years ago. She was well loved by many of our customers. She was robust in her attitude and loved by so many staff. 27 years with us, and retired the same day as George New, who was a local Brisbane driver, semi-driver, who retired after 12 years. We also had Michelle Irwin in Darwin, who retired a couple of weeks ago, 12 years with us. And Daniel Milne, after 23 years in data entry in Melbourne. Many of the line haul drivers and certainly the local staff will have known Daniel well after that time. Catherine Holdren worked in the warehouse in Perth and retired after 13 years with us. And earlier this year in June, Peter Dunn, known to all of our Sydney customers, certainly semi-trailer drivers in his early days, and local rigid for the last probably 15 years, had a great acknowledgement from our customers. Peter was mute, couldn't speak and was deaf. But he worked since 1991. He started with us in February 1991 with that disability and worked as a semi-driver until RMS decided that his disability, they needed to take his licence away, despite an at-fault accident-free record with us. He was an incredibly careful driver, more aware of what was going on around him because of his disabilities, and did a great job for us. He continued driving local rigids in Sydney until he retired in June and July this year due to ill health. Unfortunately passed away on Monday after that battle with cancer. His funeral was yesterday and was attended by a number of local Sydney staff and ex-staff and a couple of Simon trucks there to recognise his time with us. So yeah, thank you, Peter. So that's it from me. For those I didn't get to wish a Merry Christmas around the branches over the last few weeks personally, Merry Christmas to everyone else and to all of you. Have a great break over the festive season, and I look forward to seeing you in 2025. Thanks.